But for today, rather, we are going to pick up 4 games in total, and we're going to spend under £15. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trade-in game collection challenge, the series where I look to build a video game collection without spending any money on it. That's how we've managed to accumulate everything that you see behind me. We've even started a little movie collection, which you can find in its very own playlist. Those videos, by the way, are going to be, I wouldn't say few and far between, but they're going to be far less frequent than these video game videos, because video games are just so easy to pick up, trade, chop and change and just build a collection with. There are a lot of films and movies out there, of course, and there are a lot that I want, but it's a lot harder to get credit for those, and I can't just afford to go into a store and buy as many as I want whenever I want. So with that being said, if you watched the last video, you'd have seen me pick this up and try to trade it into CEX. The controversy that came with this was absolutely insane, so go and check that video out if you want. Long and short of it is, for now anyway, we're going to have to keep this because there's nothing really I can do about it. I can try and sell it as a reproduction and probably get about 20 to 30 for it, quite comfortably I would have thought as well, given the condition that it's in, because it looks like a genuine game from that sort of time period, and it doesn't look like a reproduction. I would imagine someone would pay a little bit more than a newer reproduction. Does that make sense? But for now, we're going to keep it, and I may or may not try to do something with that in the future. So let's get into some hunting, shall we? So I'm walking around a CEX. In fact, I think this may even be two different types of footage, 2 different days, and I do have a look around charity shops as well, but I've noticed that my CEX are getting just a few more GameCube games. This caught my eye a little bit, and this is going to be important for a future video. There's an age rating there missing, so PG on Shrek Super Slam, and then some sort of what looked maybe Australian rating on The Sims. Why is that important? Stay tuned for a future video. DayZ, which is not the game I want to play on the PS4. I actually want to play Rust on the PS4. I play it a lot on PC, but I want to see how bad it is essentially on the console, and it just doesn't seem to be going down in price. So I think it's a good game to pick up, but unfortunately my CEX didn't have it. So I'm having a look. Of course, the rules are, I say rules, very slim rules. We abide by them, but kind of not really. I don't like to spend, I should say, more than £15 when we go and spend the profit. We do have a cash profit in this series, but lately we've not really been adding to it too much. So I'm going to always try and stick to that £15 rule wherever possible. This I've played on the Switch, and it's quite a fun game. It is like a Japanese football game. I kind of like it, but because I've kind of half got it on the Switch, I don't know if I've got the full version or whether it's just a demo, but either way, I didn't want to get it on the PS4 because it is definitely a Switch game. It's not a game I'm ever going to just sit down and play properly on the PS4. Another Resi game there. Moving over to what looked to be a pretty damn good game here. Now, I don't know anything about this. In fact, from where I'm sat right now, I can't even tell you the name of it. Is it like Memories of War or something along those lines? I'll put a little thing on screen for you. So yeah, that is what it's all about. I don't know personally, because I've not even seen what I've just put on screen for you. There it is. Memories Retold. It looked interesting, and like I've said before, I'm interested in that sort of time period. They have Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games, which is not something that I've seen in this CEX before. I was very tempted to pick it up, but for £10, that looks, to me anyway, like a game that I'm going to have to pick up with credit. I do have a little bit of credit to spend in the next episode, and even more credit again. I'm actually quite crafty. I've used a particular store to my advantage to get more credit out of CEX, which I will show you in a couple of episodes time. But for today, rather, we are going to pick up 4 games in total, and we're going to spend under £15. Now, these games are actually pretty decent. I would say one of them is in, I wouldn't say my all-time favourites, but it's definitely something that I always give an honourable mention to. Without any further ado, let's get into the pickups. So, the first pickup is going to be one that I've actually bought a long time ago, before I even started filming, because otherwise I would have shown it in a video, right? So what happened was, I got a PS5, specifically to play FIFA, which I know sounds a bit stupid, but I was a FIFA YouTuber, right? So that's why. So I bought it to play FIFA, to record FIFA, and then I didn't go off it, but I decided to make a change. But in that period of making a change and transitioning from FIFA to actually picking up games, I bought this game because it's one I wanted to play and had wanted to play for a long, long time. And because of FIFA getting in the way and me recording it and playing it, I never really had time to play it or ever really wanted to play it. So we are talking Tropico 6. I love Tropico. Big fan of the island of Tropico. You essentially play as a dictator. I won't mention any ones in particular. You play as a dictator and you can do any number of things. You can corner the world's alcohol market. You can gun run. You can do a lot of things. You always get people trying to overtake and you have to try and defend it. There's a lot going on in this game, and it is one of those that you can sit down, almost like SimCity or City Skylines I should say these days. You can sit down and just play it casually for about half an hour to an hour without really realising where the time has gone, and then you can pause it, close it, come back to it. 9 times out of 10 you'll want to start again because the beginning part of these things are always the funnest part of it. But I am a big fan of this. I really like this game. This now has gone up in price. I'm pretty sure it's £8 to buy in CEX right now. When I bought this, and I'm talking months and months and months ago, when I bought this, it was no more than £5. I think it was £4, but I'm going to say £5 just for the sake of argument. Now, the stickers are non-existent anymore. I've taken them off, and this was been in a drawer downstairs, like underneath where I put the PlayStation when it is downstairs, because sometimes I bring it up here to play FIFA as well. Yeah, and that's why I forgot about it, because I haven't actually played it in quite a few months now. So we are going to add that to the collection, but I'm not going to say that it's today's prices, which is £8. I think it trades in for a £5. I'm going to go back to how much I paid for it back then, because that's how much I paid for it, right? So £5 we spent on Tropico, and I probably spent far too long talking about that game. But let's move on to a charity shop pickup. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the actual footage of this because it was in amongst loads of other games. I'd sort of filmed a fair few as I was about to leave, and I kind of half saw it, and I thought, oh, might as well. It was 50p. And we have the second, so it's only fair that we pick up the first. It is a PlayStation 2 game, The Getaway. This is a banger. If you are from Britain, this is a great game. I don't ever consider myself British, but there we are. It is complete. I think the map is in there as well. Yeah, the map is in there, or poster, or whatever it is. And you get the game, which is in pretty good condition as well. I remember getting this game for the first time. I think we were in a Curry's, me, 2 brothers, and we were all, 3 of us were underage. We had our parents with us, and we wanted this game. I think I can't remember when it came out, but I wasn't 18. I was nowhere near 18, and my 2 other brothers are younger than me. So we were there begging our parents to get it for us. We had the money together. Come on, let's get this game. The Curry's member of staff, and I remember this distinctively, was adamant that we weren't buying this game. No, they're too young. This is unbelievably violent. Police chases. You shoot people in the face. You know, it's Grand Theft Auto, but in London. And they use, I would argue that they use like harsher language in this as well. It is a brutal game. We walked out of the store with it. Our parents didn't care. And we got it anyway. Great game. Taught me a lot about life, this one. Big fan. That'll go next to Black Monday, which we've also got, which I haven't played in a long time. And then 2 games that I got from CEX. Now, these go hand in hand. It is the first one. It is the second one. We are going to... I've decided to go for them on PlayStation, even though I haven't actually played the first one on PlayStation. I played it on Xbox 360. This is not complete with the manual, unfortunately, but this is the only one they had. It is Mirror's Edge, and I remember that coming out as well. I worked in Game Station at the time. That is £1.50. Black Monday, sorry, not Black Monday. The Getaway was 50p. Tropico was obviously £5, and with that, that's £1.50. So we're well under on our budget here. But that is a really good looking game. I don't know what it looks like these days, but when it came out, it was just so different. I had a strategy guide for it back when those were a thing, and I actually used it. You know, when strategy guides used to come out, sometimes you'd get it just because it was a collectible to go alongside the game, and you'd sort of put it on the shelf and maybe look at the pictures every once in a while. Fallout, for example, I had the Fallout 3 hardback strategy guide. I never opened it. It was sealed. I sold it a long time ago. I can't remember how much I sold it for, but £30 maybe? God knows how much it's worth now. But yeah, never opened it. Never needed to open it. Just loved walking around Fallout and exploring the world. This, I kind of needed it, really. So yeah, really like that game. Haven't played it in a long time, but I remember having a lot of fun on it. And then of course, a game that I actually haven't played past the first sort of section, and that is Mirror's Edge Catalyst. This is, or was it, £4, which I think is a pretty damn good price. I don't think, yeah, there's no, like, it's not complete or anything, because I don't think it ever did come with a manual. Disc is there, it's in very good condition. The artwork is not, unfortunately. It's a little bit like lopsided. There's a scuff at the bottom. Not a massive fan of that, but yeah, that looks decent. If it's anything like the first game, has to be a good game, right? Not really seen much of anything about that. It was one of those that came out and people were like, yeah, cool, and that was it. That was the end of it. It was never really like critically acclaimed as far as I can tell. But for £4, I'm going to take that. So we're adding quite a few games today. We're adding 4 games to the collection, which is really nice to do. I like adding PlayStation 4 games because it is the section that we have the most on, and I free up a little bit of space on the end. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, so we can actually add a good maybe 6 or 7 before I have to start rejigging. When it comes to Mega Drive though, across here, which is my pride and joy, I love this collection more than any other. If I add more than 2 games, or 1 game I should say, I'm going to have a problem, and that may or may not arise in the next episode or 2. But there we are, we're adding those 4 for well under 50, I say well under £15, which is nice. And there we are. Now, when it comes to building the credit, because as you can see on screen, the credit is there. We have enough, cash. We have enough cash to be able to keep doing this for quite a while. But we need to add cash to the overall balance for us to be able to continue to just go out and pick up the cheaper games. So we're going to have to remedy that in the next episode. And I'm putting them in every title, and I just can't help it because that's basically where I shop. CEX controversy continues in the next episode, so please join me for that if you like. I wouldn't say slagging them off. I actually benefit from this one this time, so swings and roundabouts. But if you have enjoyed this episode of the free trading game collection challenge, do me a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.